Hello, today I'm going to talk about substrings, and my name is Daniel Kang, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, moving into substring, I want to talk about what definition of substring is. Well, according to this website, the substring method extracts the character from a string between two specific indices and returns the new substring. And you may be wondering what that means. I'll be explaining furthermore in the next slide. Now, how do you use substring? You may be wondering how to use substring, but if you look at the first sentence, object1.substring, in the parameter there will be int x, comma, int y. And as you can read the second line and the third line, it states that you can have up to 2 integers to set the boundary. I'll be explaining what that means. And if you look at the third line, it states that you must have at least 1 integer to set where your substring will begin. Well, I'll be explaining more about it in my examples. But this is how you generally write a substring. Well, before we begin into explaining how to use substring in my examples, I want to explain how to count in Java. This is really important when you're talking about substring. And the primary example I'll be using right now is hello space world exclamation mark. Well, if you look below these letters, there's numbers assigned to each letters. It is crucial to remember that the first letter is assigned to number 0. And you guys have to also remember that space does count as a character, also exclamation mark. So if you can see, the H is assigned to number 0, the space is assigned to number 5, and the exclamation mark is assigned to number 11. So that's how you count in Java when we're talking about substring. Hello guys, today I'm going to be talking about substring and how important substring really is. After this video, you're going to be experts in substring. Okay, let's start off by creating a public class, substring. And first of all, I'll write my name, Daniel Kang. And since we're studying substring, I'm going to comment substring too. Okay, I already created a public class substring, and we're going to bring out public static void main string. Main string public static void main string bracket args and the outer bracket, and there we go. And first of all, I'm going to create an object named Daniel, and since we used an example hello world in our presentation, let's use that again. So we're going to call string Daniel equals hello space world with exclamation mark, and we're going to end that comment or that sentence with a semicolon. It's not a comment. Okay, now so I'm going to show how substring really works. I'm going to use this in the out.print so that you guys can see what's exactly happening. Okay, so you may be wondering how to use substring. It's very simple. First of all, when you type in the object name, which is Daniel in this case, we're going to use period, and we're going to type substring after that. And inside, you're going to see begin index, and inside that, we're going to have to put parameter. And I already mentioned before that you must have at least 1 integer, or at most 2 parameters. But for now, I won't put anything, and let's see what exactly happens. Well, if I run this, it's going to run an error because I haven't put anything inside the parameter. I mentioned before that you have to put at least 1 parameter, 1 integer inside the parameter. Okay, for instance, let's put a 0 inside the parameter and let's see what exactly happens now. When I put 0, it's going to print out hello world. As you can see in this bottom, the console reads hello world. It's because what exactly is happening is that the first string, the first integer, is inclusive, meaning that it will print that number. And after that inclusive number is going to run till the end, printing the whole string. So it's going to print from H, which is number 0, and it's going to print out the whole thing until the end. So if you were to print out spacebar world, we're going to print out 5, because 5 is inclusive, meaning that spacebar will be printed too. So if we run this, it's going to run spacebar world, like in the console. Now let's make it a little bit difficult. Let's have 2 parameters and let's try out 0. Let's try out printing hello first. It's going to be 0, 5. Okay, as I already mentioned, the first integer is inclusive, meaning that letter that is assigned to 0 is going to be printed, and the second integer, the second parameter, is going to be exclusive, meaning that assigned letter will not be printed. In this case, the spacebar will not be printed because that spacebar is assigned to number 5. So if I run this, it's going to only print out hello, like in the console. And since you know both how to use 2 parameters and 1 parameter, let's make it a thing more difficult. Let's try out putting in a number that is outside of the boundary. For instance, if you put 20 inside this parameter, it's gonna create an error because the string index is out of range, out of bounds by 8 characters. But how about if we put negative number? It's gonna do the same thing because the string index is out of range by -5. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you became an expert in Substring. Thank you for listening. I hope to see you soon.